Look up. Look at their shiny glass towers and trillion-dollar valuations. You feel completely powerless, don't you? Like a tiny, insignificant peasant staring at a modern castle. Good. That's exactly how they designed it. They want you intimidated. They wave their endless patents, their terrifying armies of corporate lawyers, and their impenetrable algorithms in your face. They desperately need you to believe they are immortal gods of finance who can never be touched. They want you to bow, to accept that you are just a consumer, destined to stay in your lane.
They own the sky, the city, and everyone in it.
Pay your subscription fees and quietly fade away. They want you to believe that a giant cannot be killed by an ant. But here is the most entertaining, brutal truth of the modern world. It is all a massive, perfectly orchestrated hallucination, a bluff of epic proportions. A monopoly is not a fortress of stone, my friend. It's not an army. A monopoly is just a closely guarded secret. It's an algorithm, a recipe.
You think you know the truth? You know nothing. I am here to shatter your illusions.
And here's the beautiful thing about secrets. They can be stolen. Extract the data, leak the formula, and watch their untouchable trillion-dollar empire collapse into dust by Tuesday morning. You think this is just modern cyberpunk theory? Think again. History already ran this exact simulation, and the results were absolutely devastating. Long before tech bros were hoarding data in Silicon Valley, the greatest, most ruthless monopoly on planet Earth was built on a piece of shiny fabric. For centuries, the ancient East held an absolute, terrifying chokehold on global trade. They didn't just have a market share. They owned the board. Their product was silk. But they didn't just sell a fabric. They sold the ultimate status symbol, an addiction. Kings and emperors in the West literally bled their national treasuries dry just to wear it. And the funniest part? The West bought it by the ton, but they were completely, embarrassingly ignorant. They genuinely believed silk grew on magical trees. They were the ultimate clueless consumers. The East knew this, and they locked the production algorithm down tighter than modern nuclear launch codes. Total, suffocating secrecy. Did you want to smuggle the secret out? Great career choice. The penalty was immediate, brutal execution. No lawyers, no appeals, just your head separated from your neck. They had the ultimate corporate moat. A ruthless military, a deadly uncrossable desert, and a completely terrified workforce. They thought they would rule forever. Meanwhile, the Western Empire was hemorrhaging wealth so fast, it made their accountants weep. The monopoly was literally draining their civilization of gold. Panic set in. The Western Emperor looked at his balance sheet and realized the brutal math.
This is an absolute betrayal!
Break the monopoly right now, or the empire goes totally bankrupt. But you don't fight a giant by attacking its armor. You don't outspend a monopoly. You find the gap in the armor. You steal their fire. So the emperor didn't send a massive, loud army to get slaughtered. Armies are expensive and stupid. He sent two men, two completely ordinary-looking monks, the ultimate invisible malware. They didn't carry swords, shields, or banners. They carried something infinitely more dangerous to a monopoly: the ability to observe, learn, and patiently wait in the shadows. They slipped right through the cracks of the greatest empire on Earth. They bypassed the physical walls because the guards were looking for soldiers, not scholars. And deep inside the facility, they discovered the ultimate corporate secret. Silk didn't grow on trees. It wasn't magic. It was the spit of a blind, incredibly ugly little worm chewing on a leaf. Imagine the absolute shock. A $1 trillion global economy, the terrifying pride of the East, resting entirely on the digestive tract of a bug. It's hilarious, really. But knowing the secret is absolutely useless if you can't extract the technology. They couldn't steal the finished fabric. It was too heavy and they'd be searched and killed at the border. They had to steal the source code, the uncompiled data, the microscopic silkworm eggs and the mulberry seeds. Tiny, innocent looking, and completely devastating. Listen to me very carefully. Fools try to steal the finished product. The corporation guards the product. Masters steal the algorithm that makes the product. That is how you win. To get it out, they needed the ultimate Trojan horse, a blind spot so obvious the guards would never look twice. They used simple, hollowed-out wooden bamboo walking canes. They loaded these hollow sticks with the tiny eggs and seeds. Think about it. The entire global monopoly, the economic future of two empires, stuffed inside a cheap walking stick. Then they began the walk. The longest, most dangerous, and most profitable data transfer in human history. No encryption, just pure nerve. Finally, they reached the border, the absolute firewall. The guards here were vicious. They ripped apart cargo, smashed crates, and executed smugglers on a daily basis. The monks stepped up. The guards aggressively searched their robes, patted them down, looking for gold, silver, or bulky fabric. They found nothing but the stench of poverty. At one point, the guard's heavy armored hand actually rested on the bamboo cane. Inside that very piece of wood was the complete destruction of his civilization's wealth. The tension was suffocating, but the guard shoved them away in disgust. He saw two pathetic old men. He was looking for a physical threat, so he completely missed the technological one. They crossed the line. The guards went back to their posts, completely unaware that their empire's monopoly had just officially died. This is the joke of the old system. The guards were looking for physical gold. They failed miserably because they didn't realize the ultimate, most dangerous asset is always information.
You are playing a game. I designed this entire game.
The monks arrived in the West. They walked into the emperor's court and cracked those bamboo canes open like a winning lottery ticket. The eggs hatched. The ugly little worms started eating. The West now possessed the algorithm. The source code was open.
Within a few short years, the West built their own massive silk industry. The dependency was entirely severed. The golden handcuffs were off. The Eastern monopoly completely shattered. Prices crashed. The massive wealth transfer that had drained the West for centuries stopped dead in its tracks. Just process that for a second. Two guys, armed with nothing but hollow sticks and a bit of audacity, destroyed a financial empire that a million-man army couldn't even scratch. Now, fast forward to today. Look at the modern tech giants desperately trying to lock you inside their digital cages, charging you rent for your own data. They want to keep their code secret. They want to be the only ones with the algorithm. But guess what? The modern monks are already inside the walls, and they have internet access. Open source technology, decentralization, data leaks. The rapid transfer of knowledge is shredding modern monopolies to pieces faster than they can hire lawyers to stop it. So the question isn't whether the system is rigged. Of course it is. The question is, are you the clueless guard defending a dying gate? Or are you the monk holding the cane? Stop worshipping these corporate giants. Stop complaining that you are too small to compete. The bigger they are, the slower and blinder they become. Every monopoly has a massive blind spot. Every giant has an exposed throat. You just have to stop looking at their armor and start looking for the cracks in their foundation. Your job is not to fight them head-on in a game they rigged. Your job is to extract their knowledge, master their systems, and aggressively use their own weight against them. History proves it over and over. The largest, most terrifying corporations on Earth will always eventually fall to a smart, decentralized minority armed with information. So stop whining that the game is unfair. The system owes you absolutely nothing, but it has left its secrets lying around for anyone bold enough to take them.
Rule number 3.
Find their blind spot. Build your Trojan horse. Extract the value.
Never trust a soul, especially not mine.
And steal the fire.